Morning, everybody, or should I say, good evening. This is my presentation for Apparition, Apostles' Dawn, Vol.1. This is for my library assignment for my comic studies class in Full Sail University. The title is Apparition, Apostles' Dawn. The creative team is Kablam Digital Printing. The publisher, the art, and the story has done by D-Fish, and that was published between October of 1994 to 1997. Splash page is on page 2. Act 1 starts on pages 6, 7, and 8, I believe. I took some images that I'm going to try to instill in my video presentation. Act 2, because it's such a lengthy story, because it takes about, it's 162 pages, the count anyway. And Act 2 is on page 42, and Act 3 is on page 56. Is it a graphic novel, or is it a genuine graphic novel or a compilation? I would say it's a graphic novel, because I really do not know what a genuine graphic novel really is. Let's see. Other questions we have here is, whose story is it? The story is about a character named Cooper Donovan that has been shot by a gun in an alley and was resurrected by either a god-like figure or an angel-like figure to fight the darknesses of evil in the city. The premises have a consistent flow. The story has a consistent flow. It has a few places that I obviously don't like too much. One of those issues would be the design and the illustration is a little shoddy. It looks like it could have been done a lot better. For the top page, the splash page, and the front cover are done in color, where the rest of the comic is done in black and white. And a lot of the illustrations towards the end look a lot like a child had drawn them. Overall, though, it is a good story. It made me think and is kind of deep in its meaning. Does the story have a solid story arc? Well, from the beginning, we see Cooper Donovan being shot and him having trouble with his inner self, trying to figure out what's really going on with him. Why was he chosen to fight evil with this darkness and light thing? And I mean, I can kind of understand, what he's going through on my own personal level, but that's a story for another time. Going on to the questions here. Does the story have a clear beginning, middle, and end? Yes, it does. It introduces characters that he fights throughout the chapters that are broken up into this volume. There's chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think it goes up to 7 chapters. And it's like a combination of several comics that were put into a volume. McLeod's ideas of transitions that I had to look up and review for this presentation. He speaks of movement-to-movement transition, which shows basic movements occurring. Another one is action-to-action transitions, which shows single subject progressing through a specific movement, like the eye blink he gives you in Understanding Comics, are one of our books that we had to read here for our class. Subject-to-subject transitions stays within a specific scene, grid, or original idea, or call for more reader involvement. Excuse me. Let me try that again. Subject-to-subject transitions stays within a specific scene or idea and calls for more reader involvement. I can't read my notes. My issue. Scene-to-scene transitions take place across significant distances within time and space. I didn't see any of these transitions in this comic book specifically. I have some shots that are indicative to the subject-to-subject and the action-to-action, and the other one I'm going to get into now, which is aspect-to-aspect. Is unique in that it shows different aspects of things occurring simultaneously within that same scene. Page 45, several things are taking place within a same significant scene or area, and that would be the scene of New York City, or at least I think it's a city scene. Scott McCloud explains in his book, Understanding Comics, that this characterization is an inexact science. So, it has different aspects of things occurring. Scott McCloud explains how this categorization, is an inexact science, but it's useful in helping to understand the storytelling process of authors. Does a story make use of the page of a mini comic idea? No, it does not. The reason is because it's chopped up combination of a series of comics put into a volume. One of those comics would, if you were to chop it up into a mini comic, it just wouldn't make any sense. It would be all over the place. It would not be, there would be no character flow, there would be no character arc, there would be no flow or direction. So yeah, it would not, I totally do not see this specific comic being a mini comic. Do you recommend it to your classmates? Well, I would, because there are some, deep philosophical meanings, aspects of this comic that some people might appreciate. Other people that are into the noir type of aspect of comic book drawing, illustration, would probably be really good. It depends upon the individual classmate, what his or her or their preference is, and if this would be a comic for them to enjoy or not. Would you recommend it to your friends? Why or not? Why not? Well, most of my friends are manga lovers. They get into anime. A lot of them get into Dragon Ball Z and Black Butler. I'm actually a personal fan of that. I don't have any of his books, but of the manga books personally, but I am personally a fan of Black Butler. I've always have been. Most of my friends are heavy gamers, so I think because of the illustration, the way it is set up in certain aspects, they might not like it because my friends kind of look for, pardon from the background noise, that's my son making noise. So, excuse me.
Not to say that.
I'm sorry, I'll probably have to edit this out now. My son. Well, I'm going to end it because I will provide the information that I can come on with my findings in this video as soon as I upload it. And I hope you have all a good evening. And this is Michelle Christian signing off. Bye now.